Hello. Shalom. Whose birthday is it? Happy birthday, Risa. Shout out to Risa. It's their birthday. Risa, I don't know if I know your gender. I'm just not gonna lie to you. I don't think I know it. I don't think I know your gender, but happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Okay. Hello, welcome in, welcome in. We got a I don't know. I don't even want to even try to label these shows as anything like, oh, we have an interesting show. Oh, we have a terrifying show. Oh, we have a gut busting show. It's just a show. Who's in the building? We know it's Reese's birthday because they made sure that was abundantly clear to all of us. Who we got up in here? Hello, Tamika. Hello, super cute Walker. Hello, Lioness Queen. Hello, where's the tea? Hello, Lucky Lady. Hello, YNV. Nosy or Inquisitive. Hello. We have Caritha. Hello, Caritha. Uh, Naisha. Hello, Naisha. Hello, Cash. Hello, Desires. I'm sorry, Desiree. I don't know why I always call you Desires. Hello, Pia. Hello, Cami on the go. Andrea in the building. We have Ro Thomas. Hello, Ro. Katrina, Courtney Johnson, Yvette or Yvette? Let me know. Latoya. Latoya, Brown Delight. Who else we got here? Margaret's in the building. Carol B, as always. Cree, hello, Cree. Is it Lady T, Aurora? Hello, Lady T. Hello, Courtney. Hello, Andrea. Hello, D. Hello, Nichelle. Is it Chaz Princeton 84? Hello, Chaz. Erica, Nelly, Dear Journal, Brenna, Tara, Tabrielle. Hello, you guys. Welcome. Welcome to Nosy Bystanders Live. I'm your only host, your chief nosy bystander. So let's get into what we're going to get into today. We got a lot of news to go over. So we did a live show on what's that day called? Yesterday? And we talked about a whole bunch of random stuff. It wasn't anything, it was just very impromptu. So we did a live show yesterday. I know a lot of you are back to school, so I'm seeing a sharp decline in a lot of you guys because I forgot everybody has lives outside of the summer. I forget. I forget you guys have actual real world lives outside of all this salacious tea. We have a couple of things our um on our what's it called? I keep wanting to say docket today because I've been reading a lot of court transcripts from your friend Mr. Kells. So I've been reading a lot of his court transcripts. So not the docket, but on the agenda. So we got a lot going on here. First, let me put up these two graphics. Hold on one second. I forgot to put them up, but give me a second and I'll put them up and then we're going to get into the news because y'all know how we do. Very much a well unorganized machine. Okay, a very much well unorganized machine. So let me get these graphics up for you really quickly. It's our shameless promotion, right? It costs nothing to be shameless. It costs absolutely zero to be shameless. One moment, let me get these graphics up for you. Okay. Okay, one more. I'm almost done. You're going to hear a lot of beeps and buzzings, but pay that no mind. Pay that no mind. Okay, one more. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we have the graphics up. Okay, here we go. So, our first update of the day, we have a live event right here. We have a live event scheduled on Facebook Live. This live event is on Facebook on August 28th, and we'll be going over in detail the Brandon Coleman interview that gets released on the 25th. Okay, so we're going to go over all the details. I know you're going to leave tons of comments all over social media because you're going to have questions, but we're going to answer all those questions live. We're also new to Facebook, so follow us at the Nosy Bystanders TV. This is our official Facebook page. Welcome us. Welcome us. welcome us to the Nosy Bystanders to Facebook. I know we're kind of behind the curve, but bear with us. Okay. Okay, bear with us just a hair. Bear with just hair. So we do have this live event scheduled on Facebook August 28th. We will be going over all your questions for that Brandon Coleman interview. Expect that interview video. It's going to drop August 25th. And it's going to be roughly about an hour and a half. The interview, which I can tell you guys now, the interview is broken up on a number of different days. So it's me interviewing him consecutively throughout the month. So I know a lot of you come in here asking, where's the interview? Understandably so. When somebody's incarcerated, you're not going to get to be able to talk to them for hours upon hours to be able to figure out what's going on in one jailhouse call. Okay, so I just want to let you guys know that. So anytime I get any work done, it's definitely going to be because I'm trying to get to the thick of the entire situation and what's going on. So I'm not going to, again, I told you, I'm not Normani. I'm not going to tell you go F yourself, but just have a little bit of patience. That's all, you know. And then just follow us. If you follow us on social media, which I think the mass majority of you do, you already know to wait because that interview's coming. So I thank you for your patience. August 28th. Facebook Live only. So we're only going live on Facebook to discuss these details of that call. The call will be posted on YouTube first, and then subsequently, after a few days after, we will post the interview on um, Facebook, so you can check it out there. But we're going to be answering all your questions here for this event only. So if you want to, if you got questions, because you're going to have a lot of questions in regards to that call, you're going to have a lot of. I had a lot of questions, and I have all the answers. I don't have all the answers, but I have more answers than most people. Okay, I have more answers than most people. So if you're interested in that, please, for the love of God, attend that event. It's going to be exciting. I imagine it should be at least be 500 people in the building. Okay, so and make sure you follow us on Facebook. So I know a lot of you follow us here on YouTube and follow us a lot on TikTok. Don't get me wrong, I love TikTok. TikTok's a great platform. I just don't use it as much. You guys know that I'm always over here. So I don't use it as much. So I know a lot of people get a lot of updates or ask a lot of questions on Facebook, like, oh, where you at? And what's going on? What are you working on? Everything that I'm working on is on our website at nosybystandards.com, here on YouTube in the community tabs, here on Instagram, and right here on Facebook. So I just don't use TikTok as much. It has become a cesspool of really gross people I just do not want to see across my FYP. And for my own mental health, I just take a couple steps back, even though it is our largest platform. I do take a couple of steps back from TikTok because it has its moments. It can get quite toxic. Y'all know. Okay. It can get quite toxic. So let's get into the news, right? So first things first, I got this fantastic tweet from some weird Barb who happens to be a fan of Nicki Minaj. She just hit number one on the Billboard 100. Congratulations, you horrible bitch. But have your little friends kindly leave us out of it because all they're going to get is trolled back. I'm not one of those. Um, I'm not. I'm just being really honest with you guys. I'm not Cardi B. I'm not gonna. And no shot, no shades, Cardi B. We love her, but I'm not gonna get on the internet crying. You hurt my feelings. I am a real internet troll, so I will troll you back twice as hard. And while I'm trolling you, I'm also digging into you to figure out where you live, where you work, what school you attend, who your family is, so that I can just compile a nice little folder for you and any potential employer or any potential university you attempt to get into, I'll be waiting. So, Nikki, come get your weird fans, okay, before you ruin their lives. That's it. That's all you're going to end up doing. You're going to ruin their credibility. They won't be able to secure employment. And I mean that. I'm not even joking. They won't be able to secure employment. Most of them are probably unemployed. They won't be able to get into their top tier, top five school. Because I know most of her trolls who ride to death for her are kids. But they will be throwing away all of their futures by sticking up for you. And I guarantee Nicki Minaj is not going to bail you out. So tread lightly when you come over on these parts. Okay. Tread lightly when you come over on these parts because it's not pretty. Okay. Shout out to Nikki for hitting her Billboard Top 100. Good for her. Maybe she'll have something better to do than bothering the rest of us on the internet. Let me read some of your comments. This is from Andrea said, that's straight Aquarius energy. That's right. Brondolai says, I can't wait. Well, thank you. Nosy Inquisitive said, I love it. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm a big proponent of let me do the work. I don't need, and here's the thing, I'm gonna just be 100 with y'all. I don't need y'all to do anything. Unlike Miss Minaj, I don't need my fans coming out beatboxing with people in the comment section. I don't need that. I can stand 10 tones down by myself. Okay. And if my supporters, the nosy bystanders, want to sit around and watch and be nosy, they have every goddamn right to do so. So I don't need an army of barbs to come and harass people on the internet. I can do that by myself. Okay. Unlike your queen who asked you to not screen record her or ask you to delete anything with her name in recognition of it. Well, how about you not be an internet troll and galvanize your audience to do your dirty work, you loser? How about this, Nicki Minaj? How about you step behind your gated community and you take ownership for the crowd of people you have created instead of like the screen recording that I have of you calling your own barbs morons? How about that? How about you get a better grip of your fans? How about that? Because you dead call them morons. What? Because they're not doing your bidding the way that you want them to do it? I don't know. Be a better leader, maybe. Give me a break. Give me a break. Just lazy. It's lackadaisical and it's lazy. And she got the right one. I told you she should have never come onto TikTok bothering me. I mean, I talk about her every day, but I'm gonna stay on her neck. I don't care. She better pull up or pull in or pull out or I don't know, whatever you call it. She better stop playing with me or her little friend. She better call her little army down. Or it'll be the last fight that bitch ever has. I'm not playing with her or her little weird friends. Yeah, and I hope they screen record this and send it to her. Kindly send it to her. Or because you know she won't even talk to any of you degenerates. She's not going to talk to any of you. She's not going to pick up the phone. She's definitely not going to give you her personal cell phone number. So how about this? How about you screen record all of my live videos, right? And spam her until she notices you because she doesn't care about you. She wouldn't even spit in your direction. Barbs. She wouldn't even spit in your own direction. Sickos. You're out here crying like she's your mother for attention. Do you know how demented you have to be to beg for somebody's adoration and be noticed by them? Yeah, real weirdo energy. I ain't never seen a nosy bystander do that a day in my life. If they want to find me, they know where I'm at. They know how to call me and reach me. Unlike Miss Minaj over here sending out a bunch of children. And I guarantee you, if I did enough research into her, I will guarantee you 95% of her audience is children who she galvanizes to do all her dirty work. Could you imagine the parents knowing that Nicki Minaj is yielding their children to internet bully people? Disgusting. What if someone did that to her child? Had enough of a pull on his mental thinking to force him to do something and attack someone on the internet. She'd be disgusted as a mother. She'd be disgusted. But granted, with her track record of husbands, I think there's not a whole lot that disgusts her. Let's just be realistic. There's not a whole lot that gets under her skin based off of her track record of men that she's been fucking for a while. So yeah, let's move on to our next story. Shout out to Nicki Minaj. So, like we said, we're in day 6 of the Kells trial. We got to use our words dicey because apparently I can say everything else that I just said, but apparently I can't say the R word. And that's rhymes with Bobbert. Rhymes with Bobbert. So I got to pull up my phone because this is backwards and I can't see it. So we are in day 6 now. Our previous court reporter, Dave, is out. So he sent us a new court reporter. Shout out to Dave. He's so polite. Appreciate him for that. He could not cover the day 6 of the Kells trial. So here is day 6 brought to you by Jason Meisner. Jason Meisner, I believe he works for the Chicago Tribune. I believe he does, but don't quote me on that. Okay. So this is the first thread of day 6 of the trial. Okay. Darn spam bots. They come in so quick. Hold on. Girl, they quick. Spam bots are quick. Okay. It's always the same one. Yeah, just don't say his name. Just say Bob. Call him Kells. I will call him Kells. Okay, so first tweet. This is from Jason Meisner from the Chicago Tribune, allegedly. I don't know where he's from. Says, just in, prosecutors have called the mother of Jane, the 14-year-old girl in the infamous tape. I love that he says that. Thank you. Thank you, Jason. You don't have to say Zags. You could just say tape, okay? We know which tape it is. There's only one tape. Okay. Apparently there's 4, but there's one infamous one. From the Kells 2008 trial, the mom, who is also using a pseudonym, is expected to tell the jury about how and why she helped cover up what Kells had done to her daughter. And we begin. The woman, who is going by Susan, says her husband passed away last July. She worked for Fox Sports Chicago and a chiropractor, and once owned a family shoe store in Oak Park. Ooh, now remember, Oak Park is a suburb of Chicago, or the Chicagoland area, and it is very, very much affluent. So it's a very affluent area. So she was working over there. She was definitely making some bread. She was definitely making some. Hold on one second, you guys. Hold on one second. Okay. Some stability on my table. Okay, let me read some of your comments. This is from Yvette. Yvette said, I was hoping her sorry mama would take the stand. Super Q Walker says, I told y'all she would testify. You did. Now you did say that, Super Q Walker. I didn't know. I understand that she has immunity, so it doesn't, that's why she's probably going to testify. Smash that like button, you guys. Please. 182 you in the building. Can we at least get to 110? So I can move to the next slide. This is from, is it BB the Budget Babe? That is some catchy name. You said the parents sold their children for money and to hopefully get them a record deal, starting with Aaliyah's parents. Yeah, because we don't talk enough about Aaliyah's parents. We do not talk about Aaliyah's parents. Thank you very much, Brenna Love says, I love the mic sound. It's it Zara Kelson. Is it Ziera Kelson says, I tried to tell them, Steph. I know you did. Cree Roxanne says the parents need to go to jail too. I agree. Andrea Jones says, I wish they would interview Aaliyah's parents. I have questions. Yeah, because she died, in a fiery car crash. Apparently, you're not allowed to talk to her parents. That is so annoying. That is so annoying to me. That is so absolutely annoying to me because Aaliyah passed away. We're not allowed to ask questions about how you allowed a 15-year-old to marry a 22-year-old. I think it was 22. Was he? 27-year-old at the time. I mean, am I the crazy one? Am I the crazy one? Because she's dead, we're not allowed to talk about how that happened, that whole fiasco happened? We're not allowed to discuss that? No, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We are. I'm sorry. I'm just one of those proponents who just, I don't care that her parents don't want to talk about it. Too bad. Too bad. I'm sorry. That's too bad. Too bad. I'm sorry. Y'all not about to just tap dance into retirement, just pretending that you didn't somehow know that your 15-year-old daughter was marrying a 27-year-old. My question is, how does she get to Cook County if she was from Detroit? How does she get to Cook County? You know how far Cook County is from Detroit? Smash that like button. You know how far Cook County is from Detroit? I mean, let's be realistic. It's pretty far. Let's go on to the next slide. Okay. So Susan says she met R. Kelly through her sister Stephanie. Oh, you could say Stephanie's name, Susan, but you want anonymity? If you guys didn't know, Miss Sparkle followed us on TikTok, and I'm hoping to be able to sit down and talk with her, obviously privately, about this whole ordeal and just hear her side of the story. But you gonna say her name, but your own name got to say remain anonymous. Girl, don't let us find you. Okay. At the concert of Percy Gillian School in Oak Park, where her daughter was performing, she also knew of him before that, saying he was a recording artist, a Grammy Award winner. Now, I'm not going to say we definitely are not going to have time to sit around and dissect every single thing that Susan says, but I think that is very telling. She could have just simply said he was a recording artist, and he was. He was big. He was on tour with almost everyone. Jay-Z, we read his tour record. Remember, we were reading his tour dates from 94 to 98. He was on tour. He was at the Grammys. He performed with Celine Dion and Aretha Franklin and the Blues Brothers. He was on tour with Jay-Z and Genuine and Jagged Edge. Summer Jams? Summer Jams in Chicago? Summer Jams. He was the lead, he was the headliner at Summer Jams. R. Kelly, not even Jay-Z. R. Kelly. But what I find really unusual about this tweet that he quoted, and she said he was a recording artist, a Grammy Award winner. What I find weird about that is that's the most important part to her. Not the fact that he was just an artist, he was a singer. She could have said, "Yeah, I know. He was a very popular singer at the time." She had to include that because that's what was important to her. Do you see that? You got to catch what she's saying. She's not just saying, "Yeah, I know. He was a recording artist and a Grammy Award winner." She's saying, the reason why I knew of him and wanted to make sure I had enough proximity to him is because of these two things. Not only is a recording artist, because he could just have been a singer. She could have just said singer. She made it very clear because this is how her brain is thinking. Not only is he a recording artist, but he's also a Grammy Award winner. And it tells you a little bit of motive, if you ask me. CK said, I can't stand that mammy already. I'm sure she will. Okay, you guys, please don't swear in the chat. I know you guys got a mouth like me, but y'all know y'all can't swear in the chat. But I totally agree with you, CK. This is from Dina the Tourist says, the high school is on the south side of Chicago, 5 minutes from my old house. No way. Knows You're Inquisitive said, there's no reason to sell your daughter. I can't wait to hear the mom's BS story. Well, honey, we getting into it. Susan continues and says, after her daughter started to go to Kelly's studio more and more to work on music, it was then that her sister arranged for Kells to be Jane's godfather. How did you feel about that? Susan replies and says, kind of strange because my sister told her to ask him that, the rubbing of the head and sitting on his lap and ask him to be her godfather. Susan continues and says, her daughter would go to Kelly's house and hang out with him and his family. She would spend the night with them. She was going there a lot. We would drop her off. Asked what they did, she said, movie, shopping, or just hang out with the kids. And now there's a 15-minute break. It's funny because they don't say if Stephanie Sparkle was there with her daughter supervising all of that. Now, remember, he was already married to Andrea at the time, and I think they had one or two babies at the time, one or two little ones. Because I think R. Kelly has, I don't know how many kids he has with Andrea. So this girl was about 14. What in common would she have with the kid? What kids would she have anything in common with? That's what I'm saying. The R. Kelly's kids were babies. So who was she hanging out with? Can I read that again? Yeah, it says Susan says her daughter would go to Kelly's house and hang out with him and his family. She would spend time with them. She was going there a lot. We would drop her off. Asked what they did. She said movie shopping or just hang out with the kids. What a 14-year-old ain't got nothing in common with no kids. This from Shay Lopez says, "You're the mother, not Stephanie. Stop trying to throw her under the bus. You're the mom. You would make the decisions." That's right. That's right. I totally agree with that, Shay. Yeah, they are trying to throw Stephanie under the bus. They are, absolutely. I agree. I totally agree with that. That is what it looks like. Like, oh, she told me that he should be her godfather. She told me to let her go over there and hang out. She told me this. So you telling me as a parent you had no control over what was occurring to with your 14-year-old daughter. She was just able to spend the night at anybody's house. But I noticed that they negate who else was there. Now, remember, according to Jane Doe, Stephanie was dating R. Kelly at the time, but in 1998, he was married already to Andrea. So, which one is it? Or is your mother convincing you to say all this stuff because you know that you can sue for the remainder of R. Kelly's estate to get restitution? Now, I do believe it's the niece on that tape. I do believe that. But I do believe it's the mom coercing her to come up with this scheme so she can have that plausible deniability. Like, I didn't know what was going on. Girl, give me a break. Give me a break. Okay, let's get to the next slide. Okay, and we're back. So this is Jason, not me. I'm literally reading what he's saying. He says, "We are back." Susan says in December of 2000, DCFS contracted her and her husband. I'm sorry. DCFS contacted her and her husband about the allegations about Kells and their daughter. They met with Kelly and Daryl McDavid to discuss it at the hotel in Oak Park, she said. I don't know who Kelly and Daryl McDavid is. DCFS contacted her and her husband, Susan, the niece's mom, about the allegations about Kelly and their daughter. They met with Kelly and Daryl McDavid to discuss it at a hotel in Oak Park, she said. Susan said she never admitted directly having with Jane. Oh, Kelly. Oh, Kelly. Kelly and Daryl McDavid. I don't know who Daryl McDavid is. Susan says Kelly never admitted directly having with Jane, but he was just saying he was sorry and he was crying. He was bawling and crying. And they also said that we need to leave town right now. And that's what happened. Oh, I don't know if I believe her, but that's an interesting tale. Susan seems nervous and is getting confused. Now, this is from Jason. This is what Jason is reviewing. Just to reiterate, if you just joined us, Jason is a court reporter for the Chicago Tribune. Correct me if I'm wrong. And he is reporting on day 6 of the Kells trial. So Jason is observing that Susan seems nervous and is getting confused by some of the questions and time frames. When asked why she was upset over the allegations about Kelly and her daughter, because she was 14, she also said Kelly told them, "You're with us or you're not." What? Susan says she took that to mean that they were going to harm us if we didn't do what they tell us to do. So we were very fearful and frightful. We packed our bags and we left town. Mm. This is 2000. This is 2000. So like the tape didn't come out to 2002. But the DCFS allegations were in 2000. Who called DCFS? Do you think it was Sparkle? He abused her in a separate part of the house. She had no contact with the girls. Yeah. Yeah, but according to I can you guys I know a lot of you remember the tape being out back in 99 in the 99s, okay? But there is no record of the tape being out. So I can't go based off of your memory. I have to go based off of what the Chicago PD and the Sun Times is reporting. So I know that. I know a lot of you feel that in your bones that you distinctively remember that tape coming out in 1999. I know that, but there is no record of it out in 1999. Okay. We can only go with empirical evidence that we can prove. Our memories are so fickle. Okay. They are. Mine is most certainly because I take a ton of Benadryl to sleep, but our memories are so fickle that we will tell ourselves this is to be true and it's not. What does the evidence tell us? The evidence tells us there is no record of that tape until 2002. So, but there is a DCFS case in 2000. So DCFS more than likely was reporting on someone who gave them a call about an allegation. Then they reached out to Kelly. Then they probably reached out to the person who made the allegation, the mom, or Stephanie, and Stephanie gave the mom's contact info, and Blase skipped. So there was probably especially if it says he met her at a hotel in Oak Park, which means that that's when Kells was aware of the case. So he couldn't, there's no way the case would have been open um, in 1998 if the tape was out and it led to nothing. You know what I mean? And then R. Kelly finds out about it 2 years later. No, you guys, it seems as though if you ask me, DCFS got word of these charges. Um, DCFS got word of these charges, contacted Kells. Remember, the detective said that he didn't talk to the parents. He only talked to R. Kelly for 30 minutes and closed the case. So R. Kelly was concerned, but he didn't even have to even meet up with Jane or Susan, right? The mom and the daughter, because the cops were going to close the case regardless. They didn't even talk to her. You understand what I mean? They didn't even talk to the mom. That's police testimony from day 4 of trial. He said, I never talked to the parents. I just closed the case. Seemed like it was unsubstantiated. So if the tape came out in 1998, why would the officer say he closed the case in 2000 because it was unsubstantiated? That probably tells me he never had the tape because the tape didn't exist yet, right, into the public sphere. It probably existed, but it didn't exist yet into the public sphere until 2002. That's when they decided to really go in on him because now they got evidence. They had all these rumors, but they never had evidence, none, until that tape surfaced. So I have to go based off of empirical evidence. I know you guys, I know you're going to sound like a broken record saying, Steph, it was out in 99. I swear to God. I'm sure in your memory it was, but we have to go based off of empirical evidence. Okay. So just going forward, I just want y'all to know that. This is from April Bibb, says 4 years later. Yes, 4 years later. Carla Summer says, nothing happened with the DCFS case. Hence, she releases the tape anonymously. Correct, Carla. Correct. I just got to pin this comment to the top because yes. Nothing happened in the DCF case. Hence, she releases the tape. Because what it seems like is in 2000, allegedly, Sparkle seems like she put an anonymous tip with DCFS. It didn't go anywhere. Kells was getting nervous. The family never gets contacted by the police. The police closed the case according to their testimony. She might have been doing a little bit more digging, found that tape, releases it to the Sun Times, releases it to the police department, and now they're cooking with grease. Okay, now they got something on him, and now they definitely can't let it go. So yes, that seems plausible. So the tape comes out whenever. The tape is from 1998. I just want to make sure that's abundantly clear. The tape is dated 1998. The tape's release to the general public wasn't until 2002, according to everything I've dug up. So here's our timeline. 1998 happens. R. Kelly does some diddling, sicko. Then Sparkle gets wind of it. Not sure when, but she definitely gets wind of it. Somebody makes an anonymous tip to DCFS. They start investigating, which they really didn't do. Send the tip off to the Chicago PD. The officer interviews Kells for 30 minutes, never the parent, closes the case. 2 years later, somebody submits that anonymous bootleg to the Sun-Times and to the Chicago Police Department, and bam, now the gears are moving. That's our timeline. Veronica says, see, I'm not crazy. They're talking about it when I was in middle school. No, you're not crazy. Wink Badu, hey Wink, says, but the guy who had the tape along with Lisa Van Allen made copies. Where did those tapes go? The original was returned to Kel. We don't know that. That is literally their word against everyone else's, okay? Wink Badu, I'm not saying that Lisa Van Allen is lying. I'm saying there is no proof that Lisa Van Allen had anything to do with the distribution of those tapes that is infallible and empirical. There is none. It's just her word, and that's it. That's it. She has no proof of that. The only proof we have is from the Chicago Police Department, from the MTV News investigative report when they discovered the first tape being seen in Harlem, New York, nationwide. So I'm going to put my money, I'm just put a little bit of money behind MTV News investigating it versus just some random woman who said she might have had it and distributed it. No offense to Miss Allen and her take on it, but I got to put my money where the people are digging into it. She simply just her story doesn't even make any sense. It really doesn't. The story that makes sense is the story from Sparkle, the empirical evidence from the Sun-Times. Sun-Times doesn't have a reason to lie. There's absolutely no reason to lie. They don't need notoriety. They're the Sun-Times, okay? They have no reason to lie to people about who got that tape first, okay? They're not clout chasing. And I'm not saying that she is. I'm just saying that everyone knows there's a mystery behind this tape and who first released it to the general public. And there will be people who come out of the fucking woodwork, literally, to own that recognition, right? There's a piece of like American history, if you will, right? Who's the one who let the cat out of the bag on Kells? Who's the real victor who exposed him? Any lunatic on planet Earth would take that role, you know? And I'm not calling her a lunatic, but it just sounds like clout chasing. That's it. Sounds like clout chasing. I have to go based off of people who don't have any foot in the game. Smash that like button, you guys, please. Wink Badu said somebody took the tape to Wendy Williams and she came back on the radio crying. It was crazy to get the story in real time like that. Yeah, because the tape is disturbing. Now remember, Wendy Williams is in New York, right? According to the MTV News investigative reporter, the first account of that tape is in New York. Does that make sense? Do you see how that timeline fits? Versus people saying, I think I saw it in Atlanta in 98. You couldn't have. You probably could have, but doubtful. I'm just saying. It makes sense. So let's get over to the next slide. Hold on. We got a couple more slides, y'all. Okay. Smash that like button, please. Okay. I'm gonna read right here. Excuse me. Okay. So it says Susan said she lied to the Cook County grand jury because she feared We feared for our lives and we were intimidated, and that they just wanted to make sure that our daughters were safe. Our daughter was safe. She had been threatened. She was going to harm herself and run away and not talk to us again, Susan said. Cross examination now on Bogine. Ooh, Bogine. Bogine, if you don't know, is Kell's attorney. Now to Miss Bogine. Okay. Bogine is, I'm sorry, cross examination now from Bogine. She starts out by asking Susan's immunity agreement with prosecutors, which protects her from perjury charges from her previous lies. Bogine is not playing, okay? Bogine is not playing. She's going to defend Kells to the end of the world. Okay. Bogine is going much harder at Susan than she did Jane after Susan testifies that she sometimes hung out with Kelly alone at his studio. Bogine asks, you sometimes had an intimate relationship with Mr. Kelly by yourself, right?" Susan answered, "No." Okay. Question: Mr. Kelly never told you what to say to the police or the grand jury, right? Susan: "Yes, he did." Bogine confronts Susan now with a report of an interview with federal prosecutors where she said she didn't remember anyone specifically instructing her how to testify. Mm. She brought that immunity up because that was going to get brought up. That was going to get brought up. You got immunity. So basically, you could just say whatever you want to say, and we're supposed to just believe that. April Bidman says, "We didn't see the tape." I definitely didn't. Where's the T said, "What? Not the mama with Charles, too." Chow. Carla Summer says, "I heard he loved showing the tapes to the guys." Allegedly. Allegedly. CK said, "The mammy been sleeping with Robert, same as Aaliyah's mammy." You think so? CK, why you keep calling them mammies? Yvette says, "Susan's gonna make her call her government name, child." Let's get to the next slide because I'm trying to get to this tea, honey. Let's get to the next slide. Okay. Susan says, "We were intimidated. We were harassed." Susan says, "He was a powerful man, so we had to protect our daughter." Bogine says, "Did you lie to the U.S. attorneys on May," he wrote that wrong, "May 25th, 2019, or are you lying now? Which one is it?" Susan replies, "I'm telling the truth." After Susan again says that she lied to keep her daughter safe, Bogine asks, "So, your idea to keep your daughter safe was to send her to live with Mr. Kelly and lie to the grand jury? Is that what you're saying?" Susan acknowledges she has maintained a relationship with Robert, including accepting his invitation to parties and talking when her mother passed away recently. You didn't say, "Hey, you threatened me over." You didn't say, "Hey, you threatened me. Don't ever call me again," Bogine asks. Susan said, "No." Final question from Bogine: "You didn't take money to lie before the grand jury so your daughter could have a relationship with Kelly, did you?" Susan said, "No, I didn't." Now it's on the cross by McDavid, attorney. Bo, Mc, Now it's on to cross by McDavid's attorney, Bo Bridley. Hmm. Bridley pointing out that in Susan's recollection of the Oak Park meeting, R. Kelly didn't admit to having done anything wrong. She confirms that was how she remembered it. She also agrees that the idea for the trip was to for them to get out of town to avoid the press. After a quick redirect, Susan is off the stand. She testifies for a little over an hour. Unlike her daughter, her testimony seems very disjointed. Next witness is Lawrence Birkland, a lie detector test administrator from Kansas City. Lennon Weber, who is the judge, adjourns trial in the middle of Birklander's testimony. Mm. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. That's unusual. Is that normal? He just stopped. Lennon Weber adjourns trial in the middle of Birkland's testimony. That was 49. Sheesh. I guess he really wanted to go home. So that's the end of trial today. We'll be following up with Jason Meinzer tomorrow for day 7. Day 7. Trial's supposed to go all the way into September. This is from Wisdom. Wisdom says Savage and Rob are supposedly engaged now. Pitiful. Who's Savage and who's Rob? What is that? Quima says, done adulting. Now I can play. That's what it felt like. How are you just going to cut off the lie detector test examiner? This is from Erica said, who released the websites? The websites that his tapes were on were adult websites. So remember, at the time the tape was released, it was like up in the air whether it was a child or not. So a lot of the websites released it because they thought it was a free, X tape, but clearly it wasn't. Jocelyn and Kells. There's no way he's engaged to her. His attorney said that that's not his baby. I don't know if you guys were reading that. They put out a statement and said that's not his baby. That's what they said. So I don't know. Maybe she needs to be taken into a psychiatric ward. You know what I mean? Maybe. This is from Lady T says Savage is Jocelyn. Yeah, got you. Thank you guys. This is from Desiree says, did he seriously sleep with the whole family? You guys, that's alleged. We don't know that. We know that he did. He was with the niece. And he was with Aaliyah. That's the only one we know of. Everything else is alleged. She has an 11-page memoir. That's not a memoir. That's just a journal entry. I'm sure it is a memoir, but that's a journal entry. Smash that like button, you guys. 250 of you in the building. We can't get up to 200 likes before our show lets out. This is from what, please? This is from YNV says, did anyone read Jocelyn's 11-page biography? I wouldn't even waste my energy on that. Jasmine Michelle says, hell yes, he did allegedly. Yeah, I'm just saying he did allegedly. I can't attest to that. I don't know what he be out here doing. You know what I mean? That's not my business. All I know is that I can only attest, again, you guys. I just want to make sure we have that abundantly clear over here. It's a little bit different over here. We can't make suppositions without evidence. Okay? So when people are like, oh, he's just sleeping with the whole family. No, he's not. Okay. We only know of a child. We don't know of anyone else. If everyone else is denying it and there is no proof to back up his relationship with Sparkle, then he didn't sleep with Sparkle. It's cut and dry. The end. You move on to the next clue that you have. And if that clue doesn't make any sense based off your evidence, you just cut, time out, and you move on to the next one. So what occurs a lot, what I notice is that sometimes a lot of these bloggers will get caught up on like that one tidbit, and then they'll stretch it out even though it has no basis in reality. There's so many other clues that sit right in your face, and we always overlook them because we want to prove he slept with Sparkle. There's absolutely no way to do that. There's absolutely no way to do that. You know what I mean? And I don't care, to be frank with you. Even if he did, we still have a 20-year history of Sparkle trying to save her niece. That we do have. You know what I mean? That we actually got. So I'm less concerned about who he's banging, and more concerned about, is there proof behind the banging? Do you understand what I mean? And there's no proof that he slept with Sparkle. There's absolutely no proof he slept with her mom. There's no proof like that. There's none. Now, his mom may have had intimate moments with him in his studio. but there's no proof that they slept together. That's what Bogine was trying to imply. Like, oh, you guys had intimate moments. She knows what that word is. That's a leading question, right? You know that that's what the jury is going to think. If she had intimate moments with him at his studio, then it is likely that she also slept with him, which some people would think because it seemed like she did sell her daughter up the river. But again, you guys, based off the evidence we have about Robert, he's not actually interested in adult female women. So it's not likely he's just out there just letting grown adult women touch him. Does that make sense? You know? I mean, like, that doesn't seem like the type. He already had access to his daughter. What did he need to sleep with the mom for? She was already delivering her up like hot soup. What would he need to do anything with the mom for? So Bogine making that supposition is crazy. Um, YNA said the parents are predators. Correct. They are. Yes, they are. Uh, Judy Long says Sparkle's ex-husband, who was married to her at the time, gave an interview and stated Sparkle and Robert were having an affair, to his knowledge. But again, we don't have evidence of that. He could have said that because his wife chose her career over him, that he felt like she was spending too much time with Robert while curating her album. But there's no fact to that. He walk in on them in bed together. No, he just assumes that's why she ended the marriage, because she was at the time curating her R&B career. So again, there's no proof to that. That's just sounds like a scorned ex-husband. Okay. Y&B says, how can you sleep with a man who sleeps with children? Yuck. Yeah, great question. You said Kelly moved to a very young adults, correct? Quima says, they say you are as old as your traumatized self, and some people can't move past the age they were hurt unless they get help. That could be true. I could believe that. This is from Esther. Esther says, I'm all over these people. I'm over these people covering up for this man. Me too. YMV says, I don't fully believe. You don't fully believe what? Oh, I don't fully believe Sparkle. She may have contacted CPS and other things, but I believe she had a motive behind it, possibly blackmail that backfired. Blackmail for what? This is from Wisdom. Wisdom says, I believe Sparkle because she said she was the only one that didn't take any money. She also didn't get immunity. Put that on top. She didn't get immunity either. And she was just worried about her niece. That's correct. Judy Long says, even if she confessed sleeping with him to her ex-husband. No, I don't think she did that. Why would she confess that? She's her ex-husband. You know what I mean? Why would you confess that? She could lose alimony in her divorce if he can prove she had an affair. No, she probably wouldn't admit that. Torcy said we need Sparkle to talk. Indeed. YB said the video where he was performing in China and curating children did it for me. I didn't see that, so I can't attest to it. Eric B. Hello says his money could only cover him for so long. Now it's all coming out. Absolutely. Absolutely. BB the Budget Babe said, folks only started telling on him because he stopped paying them to be silent. We don't know that. We don't know that. We don't know that. We don't know that. Maybe now, but I mean like 20 years ago, he was right. he was up there, okay? So there was no need to snitch on him. Oh, these spam bots. There was no need to snitch on him. Hold on one second. You know what I mean? So there was no need to do so. Like whoever did it 20 years ago did it because they were immensely fully aware of his power and his insatiable appetite for children. You know what I mean? So whoever snitched on him 20 years ago had absolutely nothing to gain. He had nothing to gain in going up against the king of Chicago. I mean, at the time, Chicago was pumping out hits. R. Kelly and Michael Jordan and Oprah ran Chicago from 1990 to 2000. Yeah, literally, they could do no wrong. So anybody going up against them had to take a huge risk. So whoever dropped the dime on him 20 years ago didn't do it because they were trying to blackmail him, and they definitely didn't do it so they could get the upper hand to get something out of him. They did it because they were concerned about his behavior and his relationships with young adult women. Period, because there's no evidence to prove any of that. We don't, if you're new here, we don't dabble in conspiracy theories over here. We deal with celebrity gossip using the scientific method. So all of those suppositions like I think or I feel, those don't exist here. You either know or you don't. You either form a hypothesis and take all the evidence that we give you and apply your conclusion, or you don't say what you're thinking that seems emotionally driven. So you have to keep your emotionally driven thoughts really to yourself, because um they don't lay any weight over here at the Nosy Bystanders. There's no weight to them here. If you come in here and say, well, I just feel, your feelings don't tell the truth. They just tell how you feel. They just tell how you feel. That's it, right? I feel at the beginning, I felt like Sparkle knew everything until one of the Nosy Bystanders applied her own theory, right? Her own hypothesis to all the evidence. We had our evidence, but it was like a block of Swiss cheese. It had so many holes in it. I just couldn't figure out where it was coming from until the proper hypothesis was applied, and then it filled up, right? So now we have a solid piece of cheddar. So it filled up. So I can feel all kinds of stuff, but it doesn't help solve these weird, unusual internet mysteries if we just go based off of how we feel. That is how you end up becoming over emotionally charged and begin to accuse people of things that they didn't do simply because you feel that they should have did this, or you felt they should have did that. Okay, well, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Sparkle coulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda did this. But based off of the evidence we have on Sparkle, she actually was the only fucking adult doing something. Based off of the evidence alone, she was the only adult doing something. There is no history, zero actually. There is zero history of this girl, Jane Doe, her physical parents doing anything until now. It's 2022. So the only evidence we do have, who was the advocate for Jane Doe, the niece? According to 20-year-old articles, Sparkle. That's where the evidence takes us. So we can't go based on, I know it's a learned skill, right? Learning how to separate your emotions from what's logically in your face. It's a learned skill. I promise. If you want to know, I will be very happy to teach you, but you have to put your feelings to the side when we're talking about real evidence. We Your feeling on him sleeping with all her family members, that is a feeling. There's no fact behind that. Your feeling on Sparkle dating R. Kelly, that is a feeling. There are no facts behind that. Your feelings on that Allen lady stating that, yeah, I had the tape and I gave it to this person. This person did that, and that. Well, she's the only person with no proof that she did any of those things. It's simply her word against everyone else. And so we just all just assume she's telling the truth, but there is literally no empirical evidence to back up her statements. And I'm not trying to call her a liar. I'm just saying if she doesn't provide proof, she's a fucking liar. Okay. She sounds like a clout chasing liar who seems like she wants to be the heroine in the story who brought the truth to light, because the real person who submitted those tapes has remained anonymous for 20 years. That's the only reason why she's able to ride those coattails. So you have to get your feelings out of this. Like, if we're going to continue this kells trial, we have to go based off of what the empirical evidence is telling us. And it's telling us that the mom seems to be a liar who sounds like she sold her child up the river, and now is convincing her daughter to lie some more against Stephanie Sparkle in order to be able to take some restitution from the remainder of R. Kelly's estate. We know those things to be true because the prosecutor told us that. The prosecutor told us that this is a case where restitution is applied. So, which means that once the case is concluded, the victim can apply for restitution. Okay, so those are the things we know. Okay, so I just want you guys just to have, I just want to have the understanding. I know this is just this channel is just a little bit different, but I do have to reiterate that so it doesn't, so we don't end up like, we're just a little different over here. Okay. We're just bystanders. We're just a little bit different. We're just a little bit more nitpicky. If you want to have an understanding of how we operate here on Celebrity Gossip, just read the New York Times, read any printed media, and just apply really smutty celebrity gossip on top. We apply the scientific method every time to every story. That's why none of our stories come back. I don't want to sound braggadocious, but we've never been sued. None of our stories come back as false. I'm just saying, we got a decent fucking track record at this point. You know what I mean? So follow me when I say that. Take your feelings out of it. They have no basis over here because they don't help. All they do is just get everybody emotionally charged. Everybody's angry. Everybody's upset. And then all the evidence goes out the window because now we're all worried about why each other feels this way. Okay, I feel the way I feel, and you guys are going to feel the way you feel. Let's just take our feelings to the side for a second. Now, what do you know? Because once you move your feelings to the side, you guys have to understand you're the ones who usually come up with every single theory that gets applied that makes sense. It's simply me helping you flex your emotions out of the way so I can draw the information out of you. Because remember, there's 262 of you in the building. All 262 of you here in the building are not in different are not in the same location. So you guys are on different news sources. You're reading different articles. You're watching different live videos. You're listening. You're reading. Imagine when we move our feelings to the side about what we think and know or think and feel and how it makes us like feel dicey and all those other things. Once we move your feelings to the side, once I'm able to draw the information out of you guys that you actually possess, then we come to a conclusion. So it's always best to just like internalize, like, okay, I feel this way. I feel like the mom did this. Can I prove it? That's the first thing you ask yourself. Can I prove that the mom was having a relationship with Kells? If you can't prove it, move it to the side. It doesn't exist. Now move to your next one. Can I prove that the daughter was having a relationship with Kells? Yes, I can prove that. Can I prove that the mother knew the daughter was having a relationship with Kells? No, I can't prove it, but I can't disprove it. Do you understand what I mean? So you just take that, you put it to the side. You're like, I'll come back to that. You know what I mean? I'm going to come back to that. I'll come back to that because you can't prove it, but you can't disprove it either. Right. I can prove that the mother doesn't have a relationship with Kells because there's no factual history about it. Can I prove that the mother didn't know about the daughter's relationship? No. Can I disprove it either? Also no. Move that over somewhere safe. I usually just park it in the back of my head. Let me get some of your comments. This is from Wink Badu said facts over feelings. That's right. Just Bougie said Jane is 37. Whew, child. We'd like the same age. Taurus Season said, just to end this live on a lighthearted tip, please. Oh, yeah. Great tip. We'll be back tomorrow with day 7 of the Kells trial. Day 7? Day 7 of the Kells trial. And hopefully there's some more tea that comes out of it. Now, remember, the polygraph examiner is currently on the stand. So we're going to hear from him tomorrow when the judge decides he just feels like coming back to work. We're going to be here on the after show. So catch us here on the after show. We'll be talking about more random stuff. And some of the series that I'm actually working on. We'll talk about a bunch of random stuff here on. I know I had this light in my face. You see how bright it is? So we'll be talking about a whole lot of stuff on the after show. Coming up around like 8:00 Pacific. Okay. So I am your Chief Nosy Bystander. Thank you guys so much for listening to me ramble and rave. And I'll see you guys tonight at the after show. Okay. I'm your Chief Nosy Bystander, Stephanie. You guys have a good night.